of the Getting It song, and it was a blessing, man. It's my first check too. I got $300.
Yeah, there we go.
My very first check.
Yeah.
That's my very first
You're like,
check.
somebody's paying me for this?
Right. I never got paid before. It was kind of dope. I actually got my first platinum plaque from that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Album 10, man. Go check it out.
Nice. What's the biggest check you got for music now?
$1 million.
So now you look at that, you put those two up there together, like. Yo, it's your boy Phil Wham Bam Benamino. It's the show about ordinary people who've done extraordinary things. And as always, we're gonna ask you, it takes zero effort. Subscribe, hit the subscribe button down below, please, so we can continue to give you all this great content and bring some of the amazing guests throughout the world. Today, I got a special treat for you. That's right, I got Grammy nominated, I got producer, I got actor, I got TV producer. This guy's done so much. You might know him as John Wayne. Wait, no, not John Wayne, but his name is Wayne. Is it Little Wayne? It might be Little Wayne. He was called Little Wayne, but it's Bonecrusher in the house today. What's up, Bone?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Man, so happy to have you here in the house
today,
man,
I'm glad to be here. Hey, you forgot about a few things. I'm Emmy nominated 2 times. I won a telly. It's a few other things I've done.
Yeah, throw that out there, man.
You got to.
Wham Bam forgot that stuff.
Hey, man, it's all good, man.
I was going to get into it.
It's all good. It's all good.
So, talk about, you said you won a telly. What is a telly?
Well, a telly is a production and actor award. It's kind of like the equivalent of the telly is to the Emmy as the Golden Globe is to the Oscar. It's a very prestigious award to win, and I'm very fortunate to be able to win that alongside my wonderful partner in crime, storyteller, my good friend Mike Smith, and the whole staff. And then I'd like to thank everybody that was a part of that show. Welcome to the A. And we did great things with that, and I'm very proud of that production.
Congratulations on that.
I mean, I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, now, what inspired you to do that? Like, how did you start producing shows and TV and all that?
Well, you know, I've always had this this bug about trying to be as inclusive with my community and my people in my neighborhood and the artists that I work with. And we had an opportunity to produce a show based around the music scene in Atlanta, the beginning, the origin story of Atlanta. And we were very fortunate that a good friend of ours kind of came to us with this idea, Mike Smith, about bringing all the Atlanta artists, all the Atlanta greats, and kind of talk about their story and how influential the Atlanta music scene is abroad and around the world. So we put it together, did a great show. I think it's 8 episodes of nothing but Atlanta history from Mojo, Shadi, Raheem, Outkast, myself, Lil Jon, even the radio guys that helped us out along the way, like Jerry Smoking B and Reggie over at V103. It's just all of that. Right. And Steve Hedgewood over at Streets 945. We were very fortunate to get everybody to be a part of it. Which in turn told a very extensive story about Atlanta music, Atlanta hip hop, and what it meant to us and to the people that listen to it every day.
Well, I got to admit, there ain't nobody that's really going to tell you no. You're pretty much connected when it comes to the music industry.
Right.
If they don't know Bone, they ain't really in the music industry. I mean, that's the word on the street, anyways. So you've definitely made your name throughout the years.
I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate you.
The legacy continues and goes on, but that's dope. That's great. Where do people see the show?
Right now it's on Peacock and Hulu.
Okay.
I think it might be on Tubi now because it's been out for like a year now, so it might be on Tubi.
Yeah.
But I know for sure it's on Peacock and it's on Hulu.
You know what? You got into producing first, though. Music was your first heart, right? As
Absolutely.
Your first love.
Absolutely.
Let's go back in time. Let's go back to Lil Wayne. Tell us the story behind that too.
Well, before I was Bonecrusher, I was Lil Wayne, man. I was very fortunate to be the son of a great man, Wayne Hartnett Sr., my dad, and God rest his soul. He was always supportive of the things I wanted to do in life. The Hartnetts, which is my father's side of the family, were always encouraging of me being an entertainer. So I will always, every time we would have a family gathering, we get together, I would always perform for my family. And he thought I was gonna be a comedian, right? He thought it would be
I was
funny.
gonna say, what kind of performance are you doing?
Dancing, talking crazy,
Now,
whatever.
did you play instruments?
No, I
you never
never
played
picked an instrument up. Never.
So you're just being a clown.
Just being a clown.
Okay.
Just being a clown, and and dancing and doing music, and every time, it was always something going on with the family reunions, the family get-togethers, and that's where I started, right? And my love of music kind of came from that, right? I never knew for years that my dad was in a singing group until like maybe a year before he passed.
Really? Your dad was in a singing group?
He was in a
never
singing.
knew.
He never told me.
Was he good?
Maybe
that's why he didn't tell you.
I'm good, but he must have been good. I never knew my dad could sing. I knew he loved music.
Right.
Right. He really loved music. And I think that when I got into music, he was kind of like, wow. He never told me though.
What kind of music was he listening to back then?
R&B, Stevie Wonder.
Because like you brought the crunk vibe.
Yeah. But sidebar, I had an actual opportunity to hang around the greats of hip hop, which was Melly Mel and Big Daddy Kane and KRS-One and Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh.
Damn, that's some big names
right
there.
Right.
Yeah,
man, it's an amazing honor to be even be in a room with those guys. Yeah. So they were telling me stories of listening to old school music and like listening, because realize before them there was no hip hop. So they're listening to other things to motivate them. So we're in the dressing room at the Essence Festival like 3 years ago, and they were listening to like, Marvin Gaye and Osley Brothers. I was like, man. I said, man, y'all listen to slow music like that, man, to get y'all motivated. And then Melly Mel broke it down to me. He said, hey, Bone, man, was no before us. So we were listening to other music, R&B and disco and just all around grooves to get us motivated to go out on stage. And I was like, man, that's where we get it from. Unbeknownst to me, because I never was ever had the opportunity to be around them to even ask them that kind of question, that I actually listen to slow music before I even get motivated. So you listen to Never Scared, you're like, what?
I was just gonna say, we're sitting there going, man, this is too slow, man. I ain't scared of this.
Right. So
what did inspire that song to come out? As long as you threw it up there. I mean, obviously it's a big one.
Right.
The Atlanta Braves, they acquired it. The Falcons acquired it. Everybody does. Come on, man. That's one of my go-tos in the morning. You just got to get up. It gives you that vibe. It gives you that pump.
Right.
What got you to write that? What brought that into your soul?
I tell you what came from. It actually came from a few things. I used to be the head of I used to be the lead man of a band called The Chronicle. It was Little John, L Rock, Avery Johnson, who produced Never Scared, Phil Davis, Billy Odom, and these guys instilled musicology into me. They were like some of the greatest musicians ever assembled, right? These guys, Lil Jon was in the band with Janet Jackson, with Stevie Wonder, and the list goes on and on and on. Right. And Avery's the same. So I was very fortunate to learn how to create rhythm and patterns with those guys, right? So if you listen to Never Scared, it's like this, I'm singing along with it, right? So that came from understanding notes, bravado, understanding grooves and sounds and all that, and studying. But the actual, you
shouldn't just put it in a chat and pop up these days, right?
No. So through that learning, I happened to be at a session with the Youngbloods in Big Oomp's house, who is a big-time music producer, not producer, but he's a owner of a major label here in Atlanta called Big Oomp Records. Man, shouts out to Jelly and Monte, and rest in peace to my boy DJ Unk, and Baby D. I happened to be at the house. They have a studio in their house, and the Youngbloods was working on a song. And I was just sitting there because I write songs for a lot of people in Atlanta, especially back then. And I was just sitting there, and the beat was going. The beat was just playing. So I said, man. So I'm singing. So I wrote the Never Scared hook to a whole nother beat that they had. And I was like, oh, I'm keeping it for myself. Right? And it was a slower groove, though. They had it was like driving, but it was different.
Okay.
Right? So I just happened to stayed 2 doors down from Avery Johnson, right? like once again, he's the producer of Never Scared, and he called me. He said, "Boom, I got this beat. Come over." By divine intervention, God, whatever you want to call it, just sheer luck, I'm broke. If there was back then, if he stayed too far away from me, I couldn't get to him. So I just happened to just walk down the street.
That's God, baby.
That's crazy,
God.
right?
That's God.
He literally stayed 2 doors down from me.
Right.
Right?
That's
So I
right.
walked down to his house, walked downstairs, and he was like, "I got this beat, man. I don't know. I think it'll work. I think you got some. I think you put some on it." I say, "All right, bet, play it." So I had to alter the hook that I wrote for the Youngbloods. It was like, "Show 'em outside the club." So I took the rhythm pattern, and the only way that I could have ever done that is because I learned musicology and rhythmic patterns from that band, The Chronicle, right? Yeah. That band, being in front of people every Tuesday and Thursday, taught me how to adjust rhythms. So I could take a hook that I wrote on something else and put it on something else, and it doesn't confuse me. I could actually change the groove to make it intertwine with the rhythm and patterns and all that stuff. I'm pretty good at syncopation. So
I tell you what, it's amazing, just the creativity
Yeah.
and what it goes into a song. People
Yeah.
don't realize that. Like, it doesn't just pop up and boom, there it is.
Right.
Like, you took a lot of time, and especially back in the day, you didn't
Right.
have resources
Right.
like these people do today
Right.
to be able to develop these sounds and
Absolutely.
tunes and stuff. So,
Right.
So go ahead. I want to hear how this all goes.
Yeah, so so it's the first time I've ever recorded on Pro Tools. So Pro Tools was unheard of back then. No one knew what it was.
See?
We was on 8-acts and 2-inch reel-to-reels
Right.
and DAT machines and all that stuff. And Avery was working
Yeah,
on
8 tracks back then.
Right,
didn't they?
right.
So-
and tapes.
Right, tapes.
Right,
There's
right,
no
right.
digital, right?
Right. So
Where's my Walkman?
Right. So Avery was working on, I think he's working on films or whatever. And he was like, "Man, I got this program called Pro Tools. It's totally digital. And, let's try to record on this." And I was like, "Bet." So we end up recording that on that. I was like, I never experienced it because usually when you record a hook back in the early 2000s, it was late 90s, the early 2000s, you would have to do the whole hook down. So we would have to, if I do a hook like Neva Scared, "I'm outside the club," I'll have to do that again the same way all the way down to the end of the song.
Right.
It was no flying of the hook, no whatever. So to actually experience actually doing a hook and then doing it one time and having him fly it down was like crazy. I was like, "Bro, this is insane. What is this?" Right? He was like, "Man, I think it's crazy. It's crazy." So I went in there and just start going out the top of my head. What I felt in that moment, what I felt like was going on with me and my pain and my passion. And I felt like the world was against me.
Really?
Right? And
That's
I felt
where the pain
like
came from.
Right. I felt like people were doubting me, not having my back and not my,
Was it because of the music? Was it because you were so into music and that was the lane you were taking and people were against that? Like, hey, there ain't no money in that.
I used to be a carpenter.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Working with your hands.
Yeah, man, I used to be a carpenter. I learned it in Job
Hey,
Corps.
I know another famous carpenter.
Oh God, Jesus.
Jesus was a carpenter.
Jesus Christ.
That's right, baby. I'm sitting right next to another one. Look at that.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, man, my grandparents on my mom's side, my grandmother in particular, and my uncles thought I was crazy because my grandfather was really in education.
Okay.
And he wanted me to learn how to be self-sufficient in life. So he wasn't for or against me being an artist, but my grandmother and my uncles were kind of like, "You're wasting money if you don't apply what you've learned in college and what you've learned in school." And I was like, "Man, I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that." And I'll tell you a story. I'll go on a little tangent, and then we'll go back to Never Scared.
All right. Let's go.
So my grandfather.
First of all, did you go to college then?
Yeah, I did. I went to Benedict in Columbia, South Carolina.
Okay.
HBCU.
All right.
Go Tigers.
And what were you learning in college? What were you taking out?
I was taking a dual engineering degree.
Engineering. All right.
Yeah. But it didn't last. This is a whole nother story. But so I'm leaving. I left my mother's house, and I went to my grandfather's house. And I remember this story vividly. I went to my grandfather's house, and I'm sitting there, after I left the session from Too Short. I was working with Too Short on an album that he was doing. I was on a remix of Getting It for Short. And the band, The Chronicle, once again, my saving grace, one of the greatest things that have happened to me. We did a song with Short. Short asked us to be a part of the remix of the Getting It song, and it was a blessing, man. It's my first check, too. I got $300.
Yeah, there we go.
My very first check.
Yeah.
That's my very first
You're
check.
like, somebody's paying me for this?
Right. I never got paid before. It was kind of dope, you know. And I actually got my first platinum plaque from that too.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Album 10, man. Go check it out.
Nice.
What's
what's the biggest check you got for music now?
$1 million.
So now you look at that, you put those two up there together, like, I went from 300 to $1 million.
Right.
That's a good gap there,
Yeah,
boy.
it's a large gap.
That's right.
A large gap there, man. A large gap. Yeah, but I had just left that session at like 4 or 5, like right as the buses were starting back up. So I go back to my grandparents' house, and I didn't really go to sleep. I stayed there for I took a shower, and I was trying to hurry up and get out of the house before my grandpa came in, because I didn't want to hear him telling me, "Man, where you going? Going to listen to that rap, boom, bap, bap, bap,
Thought you were gonna get a switch or
that
something.
that garbage. You listen to that garbage again?" I was like, "I don't like hearing this no more. I'm on a mission, man. I'm on a mission." So I come out, and as I'm coming out, it's like 7:30, 8 o'clock ish. So I get to my I'm walking out the door, and my grandpa's outside. He picking up the newspaper, and he's sweeping like the front. You know what I mean? You know, parents come in, they being grown, they clean the yard up.
That's right.
He out there kicking stuff around. I was like, man, I gotta talk to this dude. And my grandfather is my world, right? My dad and my grandfather, world, right?
Sure.
So their opinion could break me, right? He could make me or break me, right? So my grandfather, I'm trying to walk past him. He said, hey, where you going, boy? I said, I'm going to the studio. Where you going? I'm going to the studio. I'm a big dude, bro. I ain't scared of nobody, bro. But for some reason, this guy.
It's family, man.
Yeah, my grandpa, bro. He instilled greatness, fear, and love in me, right? So anytime he says something, it kind of, if it's good, it makes me, it was never bad, but it was always something constructive, right? So he'll say something. So he was looking at me. He said, where you going? I said, going to the studio. He said, you going to the studio? Oh, you going to do that little bit bap. I said, yeah, I'm going to do the bit bap.
You should have put him right on
Right.
recording. He said, you should come with me, Pop.
Right.
You know?
So he said, so your grandmother wake you up? I was like, no. Did an alarm clock wake you up? I was like, no. He said, you about to get on the bus right now? He said, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. We can still smell the dew, grandson. I said, yeah. He said, you should do that. I was like, huh? He said, you figured it out.
So he gave you the blessing.
Gave me the blessing.
Uh-oh.
Then he says, that's why I wanted you to go to school, to figure out what you didn't want to do in life. And I was like, okay, I'm about to cry. Get out of here. I said, I'm out, man. I'm getting misty-eyed now.
That's right. That's good. That's
hey, man.
good.
So it's like he's the reason why I never quit. Even when my knee hurt, my back killing me most times, and my grandfather, bro.
You can't quit, dude. Quitting means you're done.
Absolutely.
You know, like you can fail, but you don't quit.
Nah.
You don't stop moving.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
because as soon as you stop, that means you've waved the white flag and you're done.
Right.
And there's no sense for that. God put you here for a reason and put you
Absolutely.
on this. And he's given you so many great gifts that
Yeah.
you've and I love it. I love talking to you and I love hearing from you because you always give praise to the people that have been in your life.
Absolutely.
Like the people that are around you, you're always giving them shout outs. You're always giving them the praise. It's not about you.
Right.
It's about what you've done together.
Absolutely.
And that's huge, man. That goes a long ways. That's why you got a lot more in you and a lot more things that you're doing and why you're blessed as much as you are. I believe
appreciate that, man.
So,
that means a lot.
so that's just real. That's just the real thing. You know, it's funny. You brought up a little spark. My daughter was a singer, and she was singing and stuff. And my father used to kind of always make fun of the whole thing too.
Right.
And then I actually fortunate and unfortunate. The year before he passed,
Yeah.
I made him come to the studio with me.
Oh, wow.
And he didn't want to come because he knew it was going to be a late night. He knows how I am. He's like, you
Right.
got me out here in the middle of nowhere. And, we're going to. So she did a Christmas song, and I had him do the ho, ho, ho. The Santa in the beginning.
Yeah.
So so now every year when we hear that song around the holidays, it's him with his ho, ho, ho. So he's a part of us still. So it's the greatest thing I ever did. I was glad and very thankful for that. But it's called The Christmas Wish by Kylie Benamino, if you want to go ahead and go online and get that. But yeah, so that's my dad. So I still get to hear him every year during the holidays and stuff. But it's funny how afterwards, when he saw the record produced and he heard it and he heard himself on it,
right,
how he changed, the smiles in his face.
Of course.
They realize, okay, you're just doing what you love to do. It's okay. And they get behind that a little bit differently.
Similar stories.
Yeah, yeah. So
that's
it's
crazy.
Pretty wild.
That's crazy, bro.
So obviously you transited music. Who was some of your influencers? Like, yeah, that's some good ones.
I had a lot of influences, man. Will Downey. My mother introduced me to Will Downey, Aretha Franklin, Roberta Flack, Stevie Wonder.
What was it like being with around Stevie? You got to meet Stevie and spend a little time with him?
No,
never
in
did?
passing.
Okay.
I wasn't very fortunate to be around the great Stevie Wonder, but I wish I could get around him before he,
Always wondered what it was like, just being around somebody that talented that can't see who you are.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Realistically, but talent just breathes through him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What were some of the moments that you remember the most? One of your biggest moments in the music industry that you just remember, like, hey, this was a turning point in my career. Besides what you just told me about your grandfather.
Be quite honest with you, it was. I tell you what, bro. I was living in a double wide trailer, and I had just finished signing my deal with Arista and So Def and Break 'Em Off. Shouts out to Dan Brown. I remember being in the shower, and I had just did a show, and I think I did a show for, I think it's like $15,000, something like that. It wasn't a lot of money, but it was a lot of money for me then.
Yeah.
And
wait a second, let's be realistic. How long is the show?
Oh, it wasn't long at all. About maybe 15 minutes.
That's $1,000 a minute.
Absolutely.
Shut up. That's good damn money. Who are you kidding?
Yeah. Well, back then, to me, like now, it's crazy. But because you get kind of jaded,
right,
in your own reality, right?
Sure.
So that wasn't my reality then. I was very ecstatic about the $15,000.
Right.
So I was in the shower, and I had just signed a deal, and I was about to go get my check.
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying to myself, the biggest moment in my life is I didn't get a chance to share that with my grandfather, but I know that he would be very proud of me, right? That was, to me, to be successful at something that I've always loved, something that I always did, something that I always cared about, something that I've always invested my time and energy and love in, was the biggest moment for me, to be successful at that, right? I don't care about the personal accolades and all that stuff, man. I don't really care about that. But what I do care about is being one with the music. And at that moment, when I was in the shower, I just kind of broke down and was like, wow, I'm one with the music now. The music is what's made me become the person that I've been striving to be, right, rhythmically, right, and spiritually.
Right.
I worship music. Music is my love. It's my life. I don't. Once I became one with that, I was like, wow. And my grandfather would always talk to me about it. He said, once you get to a point where you really find what you really want to do, the other things would just be residuals of whatever it is you're getting. And at that moment, I really felt that. I was like, yo, this dude was smart as hell.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck
Old and wise.
Old and wise, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
we don't know it when we're kids.
Right. I was
we figure it later when they're gone.
Right.
We had the chance to
Right.
and tell them.
Right.
But you see, you said you didn't get a chance to share it with them, but you really did because his voice was in your head
Absolutely.
the whole time, and it still is.
It still is.
So you already know that he's right there with you beside.
Oh, yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, talk about how music has changed now, though, throughout the years. I mean, you've been doing this for several decades now and doing it very, very well, working with different artists.
Absolutely.
There's got to be a lot of different personalities, a lot of different things where people aren't in genuinely for the music anymore. Sometimes they're in for the money.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's like, hey, this is a job. It's a career. You know, I need to make that bag. They're all about the bag. They're not really about the music.
Right.
How do you feel about that? And what do you foresee for the future with music?
Well, I think that like music, like anything else, everything grows. Most people like where they're at. And when they get comfortable where they're at, they don't like for it to change. So that's no different in music either. Most people like what they like in music. And once it starts to change, it can become a little bit irritating to them. It can become a little bit, it's fearful to think that what once was will never be again. That's in any world, any musical, any kind of product. Computers, for example. Computers has been going through phases every year, right?
Right.
What was dope last year is garbage now.
Always update.
It's always update. I just updated last night on my iPhone.
Software update.
I just keep updating. You know what I mean? And everything changes, right? The only thing I think that can stay consistent is the feeling inside of it, right? Although things change, the passion in it shouldn't, right? We must grow, but we must also have the passion of knowing why we're growing, why it's happening. You know what I mean? A tree is wise in its older years throughout its rings because it knows why it's growing. It knows why it's becoming one with the sun. It knows why it's becoming one with nature. It's photosynthesis. It's at its best, right?
Yep.
So when it comes down to music or anything else, it must grow. It must become something else. I always hear people say that, and I was foolish at one point saying it myself, that, hey, I don't like what's going on. And I said, wait a minute, Bone, you sound crazy. At one point, what you're doing sound crazy to people before you. So let's not start that up.
I was just going to say, it's not about what you like or what I like.
Right.
It's about what the masses
it's like. What everybody else likes.
Right.
It's not about you no more. It never was about you.
Right.
Right? You can never control what people like.
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
As a businessman myself, I have to know that what the people like is what I have to give them. Right? And yes, I leave a little bit of me in there. But I have to know that if they come for hamburgers and I'm serving them hot dogs, they're going to be mad because they come for hamburgers.
Right.
Right? McDonald's is a prime example of that. They keep trying other stuff, but everybody keep going back to the Big Mac.
Right.
Everybody keep going back to the quarter pounder and the filet of fish. They don't try everything. They don't try hot dogs.
They have no pizza at McDonald's, though.
Yeah, they do. The one in Orlando. The one in Orlando got pizza.
Out.
Man, you go to the McDonald's, the biggest McDonald's in the world.
I don't even
They got
want
pizza at the Orlando McDonald's.
I just threw up in my mouth. I just can't even think
And they
of
serve Philly cheasteaks.
Well, I might try the Philly cheese.
Yeah, man. I just think that music is whoever is coming with something new and innovative.
Well, shoot, now you got these AI musicians.
Hey.
Okay, you got producers that are creating great music.
Right.
But now, instead of having being the face of the actual song, they're actually creating avatar or an AI-generated person that's actually producing. They're actually performing their music.
Right.
How crazy is that? Because now it's like, hey, you could put that person, whatever you want to. I can call Little Bonecrusher. I'm gonna put Little Bonecrusher on. You're gonna have a concert right now, and it's gonna apply to everybody in the world. I ain't gotta go just to Atlanta and only go to 70,000. I can go to the whole world and go to billions of people.
Right.
That's got to be. I mean, the thought of that's got to be pretty crazy when you think about what it can generate. Even ticket sales. I mean, people literally buy a ticket to watch Little Bonecrusher in concert. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, think about that. Is that something you think you think's going to take over, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I remember at one point people were scared of credit card machines, right? And people were scared of everything that they don't know.
Facts.
So once people understand the actual components, manual dexterity it takes to produce and create and all this stuff, it'll become a little bit more genuine to people. It'll become more acceptable to people. Once again, we're just talking about it earlier. Creativity and progression is prevalent. It's never going to stop.
Right.
So
might as well better get with it.
Might as well get with it or fall off.
That's right.
Now, AI is only as good as the human component, right? Without the human component, it really is kind of useless because an AI-generated song is kind of like, it sounds cool, but it's not to a point where it really understands what's happening.
No,
right?
but I think a lot. For example, like Black Elvis, he's one of my guests was on. You probably
Okay. I know
in fact,
Elvis.
he told me to give you a shout out as well.
Yeah.
But he actually created he produced the music and the sound and all that stuff, but created a character.
Right.
I think it was Yum Yum or Yam Yam or something like that.
Okay.
And actually putting his music out there in a different way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's not going to perform.
Right.
And the thought process is as people get older.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't perform like you used to.
Right.
Could you imagine, God forbid, Michael Jackson was here? I know he's his soul.
The great,
but I don't know if he could do the moonwalk as good as he used to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In time, right?
So he's stuck.
But if you
stuck
get an
in, stuck in
avatar,
his-
you create something that actually can do that all the time.
Right.
Your music always lives on.
Absolutely.
Type of thing. So
we know Vegas has always been ahead of the curve on that because Vegas has the whole
the hologram stuff.
The hologram. Remember the Mirage? They had the whole Michael Jackson.
Yep.
The whole Michael Jackson show was all AI basically.
You're right. It
was all imagery and mirrors and cameras and I just don't think people understand yet that it's here to stay.
Mm-hmm.
And we just have to figure out how to make it where it works for the people.
Right.
And I think that people don't understand that progression is going to happen. Yeah, even if we want it or don't want it, it's going to happen.
Right.
It is what it is.
So listen, you've worked with a lot of different people. We talk about personalities.
Yep.
Personalities are always different. You know, who have you had to work with that you're like, man, we just don't vibe, man. Have you ever walked out of a studio, out of a session because you just didn't feel like you belonged there?
No.
And maybe not that you didn't belong, but maybe the people around you weren't what you were a part of.
No.
You never had that issue.
No, I never had that issue.
That's good.
I know, but I never worked with someone because, for me, man, it's always about the groove. If the groove is jamming, our relationship is jamming.
Right.
Especially if we're in the studio. If it's a jamming song, everybody in the studio happy. Right. Now, if it ain't a jamming song, we're in there trying to figure it out, it could be a little boring. Right. But I never walked out of a session.
Gotcha.
Right, like walk out of a session.
Never any problems or, hey, man, I should do this. And somebody else said, no, let's go this route. And you kind of have a little conflict.
Never.
So,
I've never had that problem.
Knock on wood, man. You're fortunate because, I've seen some drag out, battles inside of a studio before
I never
where they
had that
just
problem.
going head to head and toe to toe. And it's like, whoa, wait, take a minute. Take a minute. Separate, relax.
No, I never had that.
We're all in here on the same team trying to create something great. Right?
I never had that. I've always tried to figure out how to. That's why I wrote for so many people, because when I get in a session, I humble myself to the groove. So when I walk in the door, I'm already praising the God of music.
Right.
So I'm already humbled.
Right.
That's the only thing I'm humbling myself to is the groove.
I love it.
Right. So when I walk in, the beat going, whatever it's doing to me, I'm already there. I'm worshiping the sound, the groove, the energy. You know what I mean? So whatever the other artist is on, I'm on their groove.
Right.
So when they come in, like for instance, I work with Mariah Carey, and Mariah was in Miami, and JD had called me about going to do a song with her down at Hit Factory down in Miami. So I was like, cool, Mariah, shit, let's go do it.
Yeah.
So I went in, man. I met Randy from American Idol.
Oh, yeah.
He was cool as hell, man. Mariah came in, man. She was cool, man. Her best friend was like, Bonecrusher, oh my God, you got. And then Mariah got extra cool because her friend was cool with it, you know what I mean? So it became this little synergy, so much that by the time we got through with the session, me and Mariah is talking crazy to JD on the phone. Like, hey man, you got this guy's a superstar, man. Where'd you find him, JD? And that is usually what happens. Because when I go in, I'm not arrogant ever.
No, you can say that. You're a humble guy.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're a humble guy, but you're good and you're smart. And
Oh,
you
thank
can
you,
already. You got a positive vibe, man. Why wouldn't somebody want to hang out with you? I mean, shoot, I want to hang out with you, man. Take
As
me
you
with,
should,
man. You know,
as you should.
That's right.
As you should.
But Mariah Carey, man, what was that like? I mean, her
That was
sound
dope.
is sick.
It was amazing.
I mean,
It was
think
amazing.
about all the sounds that you've been around. Like
Yeah,
being
man.
in the room with her had to been different.
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. She was down to earth, just a human being, wonderful spirit.
That's so good to hear.
Yeah, man.
Because you never know the behind the scenes with people, and sometimes
Absolutely.
you don't get that.
Right. You're right about that.
Right.
Some people are the worst people to meet when you idolize them
Yes.
in your head.
Yes.
Right. Until you meet them, you're like, oh man, you's a piece of garbage.
Yep.
Yeah. But the Mariah was not that. She was an amazing individual, wonderful spirit. We had a great time, and I was just fortunate to be in her presence.
Love to hear that.
Yep.
That's great. That's great. So how did you transition into the movie world?
Oh man.
Because I know, listen, you got some TV spots. In fact,
Right.
there was one you were on a Fit Club show, weren't you?
Yep. Celebrity
Let's
Fit
talk
Club.
about that. Celebrity Fit Club.
Yep.
You actually, I think, hold the record of the
Yeah,
most weight
absolutely.
lost.
Yep.
How much did you lose then?
63 pounds.
63 pounds.
And
How
I've gained a
long?
lot of it back.
You found it? You lost it and you went and found it.
I gained it back. I gained it back.
So tell me, how long was that show and what made you get on that show and what'd you learn from it?
I'm gonna tell you, man, that show, I was very fortunate to have a good friend, Bizarre from D12.
Mhm.
And Bizarre was on the season before the season that I was on. And Bizarre called me up and he was like, yo, man, they want you to be on the they want you to be on this next season. You down? I was like, hell yeah. I'm gonna show them how big men get it in, right?
All right.
So I went on the show because of Bizarre, and when I got there, once again, my grandpa's in my head all the time. Like if you start something, you finish it, and not only you finish it, you win, right? And I was like, bet. I said I'm gonna go on here and I'm gonna beat everybody on here, right? And so every week I just kept losing weight, and the more weight I lost, the more Dr. Ian, shout out to Ian and Harvey, they were throwing things at me to try to stop me, right? They even tried to get a sumo wrestler, national champion, U.S. sumo wrestler, to try to take me out because I was unstoppable. Like I was
Really?
unstoppable, bro.
Really?
Like I was doing stuff
You were on
that
a
a
mission.
guy my size not supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So Harvey thought he was gonna get a sumo wrestler. Harvey, if you watch it, you already know what it is. So Harvey thought he would get a sumo wrestler to stop me from winning. Like
I miss this show. I gotta go watch it now. I gotta go back.
yeah,
I
man.
gotta go
Season
see it.
4
Season
of
4, I gotta see it.
Celebrity Club. He tried to get a sumo wrestler. Man, I killed the sumo wrestler.
Did you?
I beat him so bad. The guy that was the head coach of the national United States team tried to get me to sign up to be a sumo wrestler.
Really?
Man, I was slaughtering this dude. I was picking him up.
What the money look like? What the money look like on the contract?
I don't even know. We didn't get that far. I was like, man, I ain't doing that. I did a lot. I ain't doing that.
You didn't want to wear the diaper? You didn't want to wear the diaper? Is that what it was?
I wore it for
You wore
that.
that
though.
one?
Yeah, but I slaughtered the guy. I slaughtered him.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, Food Network. Yeah.
Oh, you did a Food Network too?
Yeah, I was on
Oh, you
Food
were a
Net-
judge on that. I did see.
Yeah, I
did
was
see that.
on
you were a
Iron
judge
Chef.
on
Iron Chef. I did that 3 times.
that.
Yeah. I did that 3 times, and I got asked to come up to Food Network, and to be on Food Network.
Yeah.
They wanted me to be the face of my race on there.
Face of your race.
They want me the face of my race on there.
It's so funny because you talk about 2 different transitions. You got a Fit Club show that you're losing weight.
Right,
and then
right.
You're on the Food Network
Right.
where you're tasting food. And
Right,
eating,
right,
you know,
right,
and stuff.
right,
Maybe that's
right.
where the 63 pounds came back at.
No, well, it might have been the start of
Might
it.
have been a side of.
Yeah, but I got invited up. A good friend of mine who owns what's the sports agency? CSC. Lonnie.
Yeah.
He asked me to come up and to his office. He wanted to talk to me about just getting into the Bonecrusher business. And I was like, bro, that's cool. I don't know what that is, but I'm down for opportunities. You never know, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So we get off the elevator, and at the time, he had like 10 platinum screens. You know, platinums back then were $10,000 a
Yes,
piece.
I know.
He had like 10 of them going across the wall. Telling some welcome going across all the TVs. Welcome, Bonecrusher. I was like, yo, this is crazy as hell. I ain't never seen nothing like that. That technology was unheard of, right? So I went in and he took me down to one of his offices, and he had this big ass screen television. He put a lot of TVs together to make this big screen. And it was me on a show that he had on the WB, and I was on there acting my usual crazy self. And he was like, yo, that guy's a star. He said, come to my office, Bo. I said, cool, bet. So we go in, and he starts talking about everything that he wanted to do and all this. He had an amazing office, man. He had the glass, had the wall, the ceiling, just glass everywhere. That 30-foot table. He sat at one end. I said, I could barely see him. I was
Got
like,
a microphone on the other end. Can you hear me over there?
Right. You hear me, Mom? He said, what do you do? I was like, I know you do the music. I know you do that. I understand that you're winning at that. But what else do you do? A guy with your skill set has to be doing something else. And I was like, I used to be a cook. Cook. I said, yeah, I used to be a cook. He says, I got an idea. I've been talking to Food Network, and they want to add a little, little something to their roster. I said, oh, okay, cool. He said, I'm going to fly you up. They're going to pay for the gas. I'm going to fly you up. It's my first time flying private.
Right, I was going to say, they pay for the gas. We all know what that means.
Right.
You didn't say, I'm going to get you a ticket.
right. I was like, I said,
pay for the gas.
Right, I'm pay for the gas. I was like, okay. I ain't never heard that before. I'm pay for the gas. I was like, bad. But my uncle used to own, he passed. So he used to own a couple of planes over at Charlie Brown Airport.
Okay.
So I know what flying is outside of commercial.
Right.
But I never flown a private jet.
Right. It's different.
It's different.
Right.
I'm flying in a Cessna. I'm flying in a Cessna.
And you hope you got
real flying.
You hope you got the one that's got the parachute in case it goes down.
Real flying. Like, I don't know what it is about
down.
pilots and that plane. They love it so much. I don't get it. That plane always crashes. I don't know what that is. They love it.
God gave me arms, not wings. That's
I'm
what
trying
I
to
say,
tell you.
You know what I mean? If he wanted me to be a bird, he'd have gave me wings.
Right. But so we went over to his hangar over here at what's it damn airport? Right off of Cheshire. Is it Cheshire Bridge? No, it ain't Cheshire Bridge. West?
Yeah, PDK.
Yeah.
PDK,
yeah. So we went over there, and I didn't know he shared a hangar with John Schmoltz, which was one of his one of his clients.
Yeah.
So I'm in there, and I'm like, damn, this is crazy. And the guy walks in, right? This guy walks in with a little thermometer on his jacket, a little overall propeller. Now Lonnie has his people with us, 2 guys, and they're trying to talk to me about the pitch.
Right.
And I'm like,
the pitch.
Right.
Here it comes.
They're the
like,
pitch, right? So they talking about the pitch or whatever. But I can't hear them. All I see is this guy walking in, and he looked like my uncle, right? He's like, got a little thing in his thing. He's overall. I'm like, okay, he must be the mechanic, right? And he's like, yeah, man, meanwhile, they still talking. They sound like Charlie Brown. Teacher, I don't know what the hell he said.
Right.
I don't really care.
You're not even paying attention.
I'm not paying them no mind.
Right.
We got some food in here. You guys want to eat? Blah blah blah. Whatever. I'm like, bet I'm gonna go get some. So we sitting there, and I'm like, man, when is the pilot gonna walk in? I don't got so confused. I don't forgot about earlier training. 'Cause I used to be in the Civil Air Patrol. My uncle put me in that when I was younger. Oh, yeah? Right. So I forgot all that. All I'm thinking about, I'm flying commercial. I'm looking for the pilot with the fake,
right?
The fake ranking with the little thing and the little cap.
You want Tom Cruise come walking in with the aviator glasses, walking in. The music starts, Top Gun pops on.
I want the guy to walk in with the metal,
good-looking dude.
The metal. I'm looking for that guy, right? He comes in. He said, "Y'all ready to go?" I said, "Sure, we're ready to go."
Who flying?
I'm like, "Who flying the plane? Who flying the plane?" He's like, Come on. So he goes out, he latches on to the thing, he pulls the plane out. And I'm walking in, I'm like, man, this is crazy. So he got all these plaques all around the wall. He got Cy Young Awards, replicas of the one that Smokes got on, whatever.
Right.
So I'm like, man, this is crazy. So he's pulling the little plane out. He pulls it out, and then he sits there, he says, all right, go ahead and get on. I was like, all right, so we get on. I'm like okay, this guy's he's just gonna unlatch us and the pilot's gonna come on in. No, this guy gets on the plane, bro. He goes to the pilot. He says, snacks, bathroom, we out. That's all he says.
Right.
He said, and he said a few more things, and he gets on his
There's
head.
a bottle of water.
Yeah, whatever you want,
Yeah.
So we on a citation. So, it's 7 seats.
Sure.
And it's tight. I'm like this.
How big are you at the time?
About maybe 50 pounds like that.
Okay. He gets 50 pounds.
Yeah, about 50 pounds. But I'm still like,
Yeah.
we all up on each other.
Right.
And they talking to me. Yeah, so Bone, what we're gonna do is, man, we're gonna go to Chelsea Market, we're gonna be downstairs, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, word! Chelsea Market downstairs, I got you. Man, God damn, I didn't realize this damn thing was that tight like that. So we sitting tight. We take off, man. It's like a bat out of hell, bro. I'm like, I'm like, man, he goes to 10,000 feet in like 2 seconds. I was like, oh, God, this is crazy. So we riding, and they used to it, and they just talking to me, and I'm like, man. Right. I said, oh, guys, I'm going to just go in.
Prayer real quick.
I said, guys, I'm going to just go in and do my thing, right? Yeah. I'm going to do my thing. So we get there, we get upstairs, and I'm talking to the Food Network people. It's like 5, 6 of them. And they're talking to me, and they kind of like going over, like, we love what you do. We like what you're about. We like your imagery. We like this, like that. And I'm like, cool. I said, that's really dope that y'all like me. And I'm just kind of listening to them. And I'm like, man, I really don't want to be no cook. I'll be honest with you, because I just came from cooking all the time, so I don't really. I was like,
it's a big transition from music.
Oh man, it's a big reminder of what I had to do to survive, bro. Because I was cooking at Yin Yang Cafe. I was cooking at the Vortex hamburger spot.
Oh yeah,
all over the place.
I remember the old Vortex.
Right. So I'm cooking everywhere, bro. So I'm like, man, I don't feel like cooking no more. That ain't really what I want to do. All I remember is them feet mats that keep you from getting fatigue and all that. I'm like, man, I'm tired. I had to pick them up. I had to cook. I hate it. It's all I see and hear when I hear them talking to me. Not the opportunity, because I'm not really focused on that. I'm in my music. I'm in the entertainment. I don't really care about that. But it's a golden opportunity, so I'm listening. So they talking to me. And there's a guy at the end, slender dude, at the end. He never says anything. Just kind of looks at me. And then all of a sudden, he speaks. When he speaks, he's not the president of the company. The president of the company was there, the VP, all that. These are the top brass. But when this guy speaks, everybody kind of gets kind of quiet. Yeah. He has a weird voice. He says, Bonecrusher. Can I call you Bone? Can I call you Bone? I said, yeah, you can call me Bone. I said, you got a hell of a voice. He said, Bonecrusher. You ever thought about, I know you say you used to work at the Waffle House. You ever thought about doing a travel? I was thinking about doing a travel thing while you go around and you judge people's cooking, and you cook on like a griddle, and you do all these things, and you kind of go from state to state and do all these things. I'm thinking about calling it diners, drive-ins, and dives. What do you think about that? I said, that's kind of dope, bro.
I feel like I'm in the fucking room right now.
You
got me in the room right here.
He says, I said, man, that's kind of fucking dope. He says, you think you want to do that? I was like, maybe. I really wasn't into it, bro. And it was like, well, we're going to introduce you.
Show me the money, baby. Show me the
money. I wasn't even on that. I didn't even care about that.
Why did you at that point?
One thing about me, Bam, I don't care about the money.
Yeah.
I just care about the actual thing that I'm doing, because if I can't give you everything I am, it's not going to make me no money.
I get that, but you got to also be honest about the fact that if there was an astronomical amount of money, you might have sucked it up a little bit more than to say no. I mean, if they gave you a wealthy, big bag, bigger than you've ever had before, and said, hey, do this for 6 months.
You said 6 months.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. You might suck it up for 6 months.
Well, now, yes, because I'm smarter as a businessman. But then it was sincerely just passion.
Gotcha.
With no thought of
what the hell are you doing on the plane then?
The business.
You shouldn't even went.
You
wasted your time.
It was something to do.
Oh, okay.
It was like I didn't want to turn nothing down.
You were going private.
I was going to go and see what it was.
Right.
Right. So you just never know. They might have got me in the room. It might have been the best thing ever. Like the Wham Bam podcast.
I can't believe that you didn't try to pitch them on doing a theme song for them and for the show.
They have no music. It wasn't music.
Right.
But I tell you what, though, I was very fortunate because nobody didn't convince me. I wanted to do it anyway because I love Food Network because I love food. I still love to look at Food Network because I like to see chefs cook.
What do you love about food?
Besides it being delicious.
I don't know. I could serve you something that might not be so delicious.
Well, I want that. You don't want no nasty food. I don't want no nasty food. I like the technique of cooking.
Yeah.
Right? I like to watch chefs cook. I think chefs are the closest thing to chemistry gods that there are because it takes a lot of chemistry, a lot of practice, a lot of understanding flavors and seasoning to be a chef. You have to really know what you're doing because if you can make it taste totally different. Fried chicken has different variables by seasoning.
Right.
So does anything else you make, right? Sure. You have to be really good at putting together flavors, and the best that do it get paid handsomely for it. And that's a career. Yeah. And I never, ever wanted to desecrate or belittle anybody that's working hard to be something great for themselves. No more than I want somebody to do the same thing in my business as an artist. I want you to be dead serious about what you're doing because that means that you're going to be able to keep the actual thing itself going, whatever that thing is.
Hi, I'm Phil Benamino, CEO and founder of Cost Plus Processing, the company that provides financial services to your business. We provide things such as POS systems, ATM machines, and check services. One of the biggest things that we strive ourselves here at Cost Plus Processing is our customer service. We are an A+ rated with the BBB with customer service, and we're proud to say we're here in the United States with all of our customer service agents. Our objective is to actually teach you and educate you about the costs that you're currently paying and show you ways where you can eliminate those costs that you no longer have to pay. One of the biggest programs that are out there today is our dual pricing program, where you actually can offer your customers now a choice of how they want to pay. Do they want to pay with cash or do they want to pay with card? And if they pay with card, it actually helps you to absorb the card fees, so you no longer have to pay the fees like you've done for many, many years. Cost Plus Processing aligns ourselves with some of the top POS companies out there in the industry today. For example, we have perfected the car dealership industry, and our dedicated team are equipped to manage a variety of online payment forms and financing options that merchants require in this advanced ecosystem of payments. If you have a restaurant, we are proud to be able to manage the ongoing difficulties that arise from this fast-paced industry, and you're looking for pay at the table, where customers can easily swipe their cards, tap their cards, and make their payments with tip, and also have a choice of how they want to pay, we have the solutions for you here at Cost Plus. We want to help other small business owners make their dreams come true by providing the best financial support. From barbershops to liquor stores, having the ability to take payments, schedule online, and make calculating tip sharing an easy task only helps business owners put more attention and money into what really matters the most. Also, Cost Plus Processing is on the front end of AI. We can also provide you kiosks for your business, so customers can walk over to the kiosk and order anything that they want. Likewise, if you're having problem getting employees in the kitchen to work, we can also provide you robots that will actually deliver your food straight to the customer. I want to thank you for the time that you took to learn a little bit about Cost Plus Processing, and most importantly, why we are the future of merchant processing.
It's kind of funny, man, because I literally just got back. I was actually in Naples, Florida. I did a little charity work with a company, EOS, which actually they did a show for kids that want to be chefs.
Right.
And there was a celebrity chef there from Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, nice.
That was running it all. And they wanted me to be a judge to taste it. Tito Ortiz was one of the judges as well.
Nice.
And stuff. But I was afraid that I wouldn't like some of the food. Right. And I didn't want to be the one to be like, oh, no, that's no good.
Right.
And be on TV saying that stuff because it kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. But there's got to be a reality. They all can't taste good.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
So you got to tell them the truth. So I was like, I'll come. I'll be a part of it.
Right.
I'll help the kids and do all that stuff. But I just didn't want to be a judge, man.
Well, hey, man, I was a judge on Iron Chef.
Yeah.
Right? You're talking about some of the best chefs in the world. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I was privileged to be early in my career around some very dope shit. Yeah. Pardon my French. Right. To be in rooms with Bobby Flay and Mario Batali and Cat Cora and Elton
I
Brown.
wonder why you like food so much.
I'm just
Shoot,
saying,
I mean,
bro,
come
like to
on.
be in them.
That will change you.
Right. I mean, I was already on food like that.
Right.
But to be around some of the greatest chefs and to be in the room with some of the greatest chefs on the network that has the greatest chefs on it was unfathomable in early in my career. And I never wanted to, because I didn't want to take it serious. And I was like, oh, nah, I can't do it. I wouldn't do that to. I wouldn't do that to Bobby. I wouldn't do that to Cat Core. I wouldn't do that to even then Paula Deen. I wouldn't do it to none of them because they really believe and love it. They really take the time in their craft to be great at it.
Them poor kids. They're kids. Anybody, if they have children, they got family. They're screwed. I just had to say it because they can't eat out anywhere else.
Right.
Because they were raised with, with a celebrity chef like that. You know, it's kind of my mom. I was raised in an Italian restaurant, so it's hard for me to eat Italian.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? So my mom makes her lasagna. It's totally different than if I go somewhere else. I just can't eat it. So I can only imagine being a celebrity chef and be able to create everything.
Well, you
know
know,
what I'm saying?
I make the best macaroni and cheese you ever had in your life.
Well, I wouldn't know because you haven't made me any yet.
Well,
but I'm open for it.
It's amazing, bro. It's my only contribution to the craft of cooking.
Yeah.
Is that my mac and cheese is the best mac and cheese in the world.
I gotta get Mama Benamino out here and find out. We'll have to find out. We'll do a little taste test.
No disrespect to your mama, but I had other cooks that swear they're the best.
That's awesome.
Taste mine and be like, Ricky Smiling is one of the biggest cooks and lovers of food that I know. And he had to concede to it so much that he was trying to get the recipe.
Trying. You wouldn't give it up?
I gave him a recipe.
Okay.
He's still mad at me this day.
Oh, yeah.
He's trying to get it. He sent all of his followers, all millions of his followers to my page and jammed up my page, told people to tell Bonecrusher to release the Kraken.
Recipe.
The Kraken is what he called it.
The Kraken?
Yes. I'll play it for you.
There you go.
Release the Kraken. So I was like, yo, bro, I get it. I've never, once again, and it took me a while to even perfect that. So
And you can make it the same every time?
Every time.
Oh, that's a key right there. I mean, that's a skill right there alone.
Yeah.
Not everybody can make it the same every single time.
Yeah, I make same.
Okay,
But it's
so
the same recipe though.
Yeah. Well, but you ain't shared it with nobody. So
No, I ain't sharing them with nobody.
that's the problem.
I need to sell. I'm about to start selling the thing about it is that it's regular macaroni cheese.
Hey,
with
wait a
my
second.
sauce.
Here it is.
What's
I
that?
just saw it. An image. TV, commercial, Bonecrusher, mac and cheese. Remember George Foreman? We got to do the Bonecrusher, man.
You should. We should.
Yes,
We should do it.
You know,
We
should.
should.
That mac and cheese, boy.
Hey, let me
Put
tell you
out
something.
there.
You know, Doc is the reason why we know each other, right?
Yeah.
Doc had it. He was like, "Oh my God, what is this? What are we doing with it? What are we doing?"
There you go. Get him involved. That's right. That's right.
Right. I'm like, man, everybody tasted wanted we. I'm like, bro.
I just want to watch it. I just want to taste it. I do want to taste it.
You can taste it.
So,
You can
but
taste it.
I just want to watch the success from it.
You can taste it.
You know, throw these ideas out. Just
Hey,
let you
man,
know.
I love it. I love it, man. It's the sauce that really what makes it taste so well.
Yeah.
You can take your macaroni and cheese and put my sauce in it, and it'll taste like nobody's business.
Man,
Right.
You're making me hungry, man. We got to stop. Let's talk about health real quick.
All right, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about health. What are we doing about health? How is your health and where you go? Obviously, you've been on a Fit Club show.
Yep.
You know food. You love food. How do you balance everything? You know, because you are out there a lot, and you're going from coast to coast.
Absolutely.
You're in every city. You know,
Right.
you're living in and out of places.
Right.
Right. You don't really have it's got to be hard. So you're constantly eating on the road, eating on the grind.
Yeah.
You can't prepare all your meals all the time.
Uh-huh.
So what is that like? Do you feel like that crippled you a little bit? Or are you trying to do other things or eat differently to be healthier? Where are you at?
Well, I'm always on a journey of fitness. I don't know if I'm successful all the time, like most of us in America.
Great.
You know what I mean?
Great the way you said that.
Right. I don't know. You know, we got food on every
We're
corner.
all on a journey for
Right.
fitness. Some
We're
are
all on a
successful,
journey.
Some ain't so much.
You know,
I say I work out so I could eat. That's kind of what my whole thing is.
I work out too, bro. Like I work out a lot, but I love what I love, and food is one thing that I love.
Okay.
But even in that, I try to make sure I stay as restricted inside of my dietary plan. Like I cut out a few things out of my diet, but I still eat a lot of the stuff that's inside of my diet. So I maintain my chubbiness. So I try my best to every so often I detox myself, and I lose a lot of weight.
What do you do for detox?
Well, I take a lot
You know,
of
water fast and shit.
Nah, that's too abrasive. I
But
do.
it works.
It-
3-day water fast, man, kills cancer cells, everything, man.
bet it does.
It starts everything over, man. You should try that. So
I might.
I've learned that, man. Like I told you, I almost died several years ago.
Oh, wow.
And ended up working. Gary Brecka actually,
Yeah.
you know, was one that actually saved my life. It helped
Nice.
me get to a different point in my life where you start realizing,
God bless you.
you know,
For sure.
because I mean, I love to live. Like, I love life. I'm
Right.
very grateful. I thank God every day for letting me wake up and open my eyes. But I'd like to do it a lot more
Right.
than less.
Right.
So I understand that, you know, you got to put, you know, you got to put time and you got to put energy and sometimes money into your health.
Right.
So you can live longer.
Absolutely.
And stuff. But, you know, one of the things that he did, there was a 3-day water fast. And it's good mentally because it's a mindset, number
Right,
one,
right,
too.
right.
But the fact of what it does for your
Right.
cells and how it can kill cancer cells and everything else,
Right.
it's a good thing. So it's a good start.
Yeah.
And you actually find yourself, once you get to day 3, you're like, I mean, I got a little bit more energy and maybe
Yeah.
I don't need to eat. You start realizing food is not really
Essential.
right. It's required,
Yeah.
but you know the old saying: do you eat for pleasure or for purpose?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
you know, I find myself now I try to eat for purpose.
Right.
I do have some pleasure every now and then. though.
That's absolutely. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So,
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
unfortunately, as you can
Hey,
tell.
ain't nothing wrong with that.
But
You know what I did though in 2020? I did a 40-day fast.
Mm.
I ate raw vegetables and drunk tea for 40 days. No, 30 days. I'm sorry. I
Same
lost
thing.
48 pounds.
Yeah.
And then I
you
went
know
from
what works for you. I mean, being on a
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
lost 68 pounds. You said then too.
yeah.
So
But
you know you can.
Yeah. And then I went from there, and we left Atlanta. We moved from Atlanta 5 years ago, but the start of it was the workout. Me and Story, she did it with me, and she lost like 20 some pounds, and I lost 40 some pounds, 48 pounds. No
That's great.
exercise, didn't work out at all.
It's all about the fork, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we went to Baton Rouge and got with a doctor, Dr. Kelly. God rest his soul. He passed from COVID, but great guy, one of the best people I've ever met. Great guy. He got me on this regimen every day for like a month. So I would go to his clinic, and he was a chiropractor / I don't know what his title was, but he was the best at what he did. It was all kind of athletes coming about there, swimmers, guys that did rowing. I was like, bro, what did you do? He had an LSU football team, but he would stretch me every day on this machine, and it would line my body up every day. And then I would go into a hyperbaric chamber for an hour and a half every day.
Yeah.
And then he would do with acupuncture with my knees and my
yeah.
back and all that. Bro, by the time I left him, man, I was a brand new person.
Change.
Yeah. Then I left. When I left him, I went to Dallas to work out with a guy named Igor. And Igor is the master of the lymphatic system. And he drained my whole body through his workout for a year. And I lost over 100 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's big. That's a person.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. I lost
Yeah.
100 pounds.
How'd that make you feel?
I feel great, man. I feel great now, even actually. So I feel like a whole new guy. And man, this guy Mac is really the guy that started it all. I got introduced to him by Jazzy Faye.
Okay.
Finzel introduced me to Mac, and Mac was a godsend. And he's the one that really got us going with it.
Yeah.
And God bless Mac. Mac is a monster guy, but he's the guy that got me with all those people.
Gotcha.
And that's how I met Doc.
Right.
Without Doc, I wouldn't know you.
Right.
Like Dr.
See how
LB.
God works?
Right.
It's a funny spot.
It's crazy, right?
It is. It is. It's not an accident.
It's never an accident.
Never an accident.
Never an
You know,
accident.
people sit there and say, "Oh, don't wonder." Just look up. You all know.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I wholeheartedly believe in those things. But you know, the reality is, you're such a good guy. You got to be around longer. You got to take care of your health, man. You got to make sure.
I'm doing great.
Continue that journey. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I'm doing
and it's
great.
good because that smile is infectious, and more people need that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got to be
Right.
around in order to share it.
Absolutely.
That's the key.
Absolutely.
Well, what's next for Bonecrusher? What do we got to look forward to? We got any new albums? We got any new stuff going on?
Yeah.
Tell us what's going on right now.
Well, I got a lot of things coming up. You know, I don't know if you know this, but you probably already know, but they don't know this. We have a consulting firm, Crusher Consulting LLC, and we are constantly working hard to help out people.
What type of people? What type of people?
We
you
work with a little
consult?
bit of everybody. Fortune
From
500
artists, little people?
artists, Fortune 500 companies, sports teams, do a little bit of all that. And we've very fortunate to be very successful around some very good people.
Right.
And we've helped them along their careers. We helped Lotto in the beginning of her career. We've helped out the Falcons, the Braves, well, not the Braves, but the Dream, a lot of people in Atlanta, artists in Atlanta. I helped Tip in the beginning of his career, Banner, Mike, a lot of people I've helped out.
Sure.
That's just the nature of who I am as a person. I want to be able to help out as much as I can, even when I don't have much, because I feel like people deserve love. And I've always I wanted to give what I didn't necessarily always have all the time. And I felt like people could be able to, if I gave them sincere love, hopefully it would help them out with their lives. And I've helped out everybody I've ever been around. Anybody that's ever been around me is either rich or mentally rich. So I want them to be as happy as possible. And on top of that, I do have music. Getting on back to that, I got music coming out, new albums coming soon. Return of the Lyrical Giant, that's coming out. I'm also licensing music for different things and for different movies.
You did some
television.
voiceover too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I did Squidbillies. I did voiceover.
Billy.
Yeah, I did voiceover for the Welcome to the A. I've done voiceover for a lot of things, a lot of stuff. Yeah. So we just working, man. Just constantly working, constantly moving. Working with different projects. Got a few new artists coming out. We got Telemesia. We got Mark James. We got a few artists coming. So
Yeah.
we're working.
Now you're signing deals to them
Yes.
right now currently, so they're working underneath you.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about what goes into signing a deal, like what an actual deal is.
Mhm.
You know, people hear about all the horror stories and stuff, which is definitely true. Those
Right.
things are out there.
Right.
You know, what are the things to look for, and what makes you guys different and your agency different? That you know that's the people won't see somewhere else that they're getting with you.
Well, I think the difference between us and most people is empathy.
Yeah.
And the understanding of what that means. We sincerely care about the artists that we work with and the companies that we work with. We make sure that our artists knows the in and outs of the contract that they're signing. We also make sure they know the ins and outs of everything that they're signing themselves into musically and career-wise, either through A&R, which is artist and repertoire, or through understanding what ASCAP is, BMI is, understanding what publishing means, what master rights mean, what point
It's a
structure,
lot.
yeah,
It's a
point
lot.
structure and all that stuff means. These things are important. Me as an artist, I like to make sure that people that come after me understand that you don't have to get messed over early to learn later how to get rich. I think you should come out the gate being rich. I think you should come out the gate knowing what you're doing.
Right.
I think you should come out the gate knowing what your intellectual property means. I think you should come out the gate knowing.
They don't have a school for that, do they?
No,
You need the Bonecrusher class right there.
you absolutely do.
You know what I mean? We need to make a course on that
Yeah,
stuff
absolutely.
right there.
We absolutely
Yes.
definitely does.
I mean,
we should.
for real.
We should. I mean, we do it for. That's our
Yeah.
curriculum, right?
Yeah.
That's what we do for our clients and for our artists. But we try our best to make sure. Not try our best. We do make sure that everybody knows exactly what they're into when they get into it, right? So whenever there's something that needs to be clarified or talked about, any questions, or the questions you don't know to ask, I'm going to give you an answer to it. And Story will as well. So we're here to help instead of take. The problem is a lot of people lie. They tell lies about what they can do and what they did do and what they did and didn't do. And they lie about what they know about certain type of stuff. And it's all feeble stories or fables. Right. And the problem with that is that once you know the truth, then you say to yourself, oh, I get it. They were lying. Oh, yeah, they were lying to you. They were taking all your money. They was taking all your fame. They was taking all everything. So we don't allow ourselves to be put in that position because that's the position that it's very terrible for someone to have to go through unnecessarily.
Right.
And everybody's not your friend,
Mm-mm.
right? With that being said, we try our best to make sure that every person that works with us musically has a foundation of knowledge of what it is that they're getting themselves into.
Mhm. No, that's great, and it's unfortunate because a lot of people aren't doing that.
Absolutely.
I'm hopeful that the times have changed. Back in the day, like I said, when I was
They have
involved,
not.
with they have not.
Oh,
Well, my
they gotten
daughter,
worse.
my daughter was in a situation where she went in to sign a deal and
Right.
came out in tears,
Absolutely.
because
It's
they
horrible.
wanted her to do something sexually that she
Of
was
course.
not willing to do in order to sign that deal.
Terrible.
And she's like, "Dad, I'm not compromising myself." And I said, "No, you're not.
Good for her.
And give me my gun, and I'll see you in a few minutes."
Absolutely.
That's what I said. You know what I mean? But it's like that. Unfortunately, that is out there.
Absolutely.
And people force people, and you know what? The way they look at it, they give them a choice. And
Yeah.
some people choose that road.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And they do what they do to get ahead.
Right.
In their mind and stuff. So
Absolutely.
I think it's great that you're up front and you have a good balance between you and Story, obviously sharing real life experiences,
Right.
and letting them know how it can really be.
Yep.
You don't have to do something unethical to get there.
Absolutely.
As well. Everybody's got to get paid. Everybody's got to make a little bit. Everybody's gotta win.
Absolutely.
Everybody's got to win in this
Absolutely.
situation. And there's enough business out there for everybody to win.
Absolutely.
If it's done right. If it's done
It's
right.
done right.
How do you feel about the whole Diddy stuff, man? That's been out there and all. We got to talk about that.
I don't, man. You know what's so crazy, bro? I've never experienced any of that stuff that's happened.
You didn't go to a Diddy party?
Never. I mean, I went to a industry party that Diddy was throwing.
Okay.
And I've never.
You have to wear a mask to get in?
No, it was regular.
Okay, I was just checking.
I've never been in any of his parties, like the party they're talking about in the case or whatever.
Right.
But I've been in some industry parties where he was hosting the party, and one party actually. But it was cool, just regular night.
Yeah.
Everybody in the club having a good time.
Right.
I don't know about all the other stuff that's going on with him, so I can't speak for or against it because I don't know.
Are you surprised?
I'm not surprised by anybody, to be quite honest with you.
Go to Amazon today and purchase Money Management for Beginners, a book for everybody, especially younger kids. Kids that get money and don't know what to do with it. This is the best $20 you'll ever spend. We'll save you millions. That's right, I said millions of dollars if you start young and earn you the same. Amazon. Amazon.
But I don't think that if it is true, I think that he should be persecuted to the extent of the law.
Right.
If it's true.
Right.
If it isn't true, I think they should just kind of just leave it alone. But if it is, but knowing him, he has definitely, I don't know about the sexual stuff, but I do know that he has definitely not been the most ethical person when it came to his business with his artists.
Right.
Right. And I know a few of them.
It's funny. Why is that, though? A guy that's got let's be honest. He's made it. He's got a good bankroll.
Right.
He's got enough money. He can pretty much do what he wants. Why not just be ethical? Why not run a straight line? What is so wrong with that?
Well,
Why are you always trying to get the edge? Why a little bit more?
there's an old quote that says power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. And a lot of us as men, as women, humans, once we get to a place and we're not very secure with ourselves and understand our position in it, we can get kind of jaded in it. Because you're there for the wrong reasons. Remember earlier we was talking about the reason why I'm not getting into certain things is because I can't see myself being fulfilled and 100 in it. So I won't do it because it just ain't my thing. If I can't give you everything I am in it, I'm just not going to do it, right? But most people don't. Most people will take the money.
Right.
And then they get into it, and because they don't have no direction, no passion, no love, no understanding, no grace in it, no empathy, no sympathy in it, they can be persuaded to do other things because they're not really that into it like that. They're in it for the check.
Right.
So if you're in it for the check, and somebody else will come at you with a check. And that isn't always the best people in the world that got the most money. And they might be like, hey, man, oh, you get this check, you got to do this. You like, well, yeah, I don't really care. I'm going to get this money, right? So you end up doing things that are kind of naturally out of your law of life and how you feel about yourself and how you treat yourself and how you treat others because you're in it for the wrong reasons. And if that's where that brother kind of is in my head, I think that Puffy is a victim of narcissism. He's a victim of trying to be always on top. When you're trying to always be on top, to your point, always on top, you do whatever it takes to stay there. So I think that's his biggest downfall. Right. He wanted to always be on top. And when you always trying to be on top, it takes you do anything to get there.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the worst place to be because you're not happy there.
But somebody like that is never going to be happy.
No.
Because at the end of the day, everybody's looking up.
Absolutely.
Even when you're on top, you look even further up.
Right.
There's a prince. There's
Right.
somebody in the world. There's somebody else.
Right.
You know, saying that you end up looking up. So it's I mean, when you either have that, this is just my own personal feeling. You either have that ability where, you know, nothing's ever going to be good enough because you want to be that. And once you're that, you want to be that again.
Absolutely.
And then you want to be that again and again and again. So you're never happy.
And never happy.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, what is it? And, you know, you use a keyword love. Like, people don't love enough.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And they use tools to give them that feeling of love. Money being one of them. I got to buy love, right? You know, if I can get, it makes me feel good. So therefore, you know, I'm buying that love, that feeling, instead of just wrap your arms around somebody and giving them time.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? You know, type of thing. My father gave me a phrase and always stuck with me. You know, he always had a problem with my kids telling them, you know, saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. And my kids, and my daughter would always say, you know, Papa, why don't you say you love me? And he said, love isn't something I should have to say.
Right.
I show you.
Right.
And if I'm not showing you, then I'm not doing a good enough job with
Correct.
it. You know, type of thing.
Right.
And that hit home. You know what I'm saying? And it's right. And he did always show that.
Right.
But people can do that and can do more of that. Unfortunately, they don't.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of the problem with the world today, I think. But,
yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right. I think people misconstrue the understanding of our positions inside of love. Right. A man's position has always been the provider, the force of nature, the strength, the guy that goes out and brave the weather and bring back the bacon.
That's right.
Right. When you out braving the weather and bringing back the bacon, it's kind of hard to be also the guy that's, hi, honey, how are you? I love you to
Frying it up
death.
in the pan.
Yeah, right. You know, and you know, that's not really the nature of the male gender, right? We are more based upon masculinity, and that masculinity can be our benefit and our downfall when it comes to our children.
Right.
Right? We can be overly financially giving and making sure they got food in the refrigerator, but they don't really know where it come from, right? Because we're not telling them.
That's right.
Right? So
They get used to it.
they're used to it.
Right. It's supposed to be there.
Right. It's supposed to be there. Right. You know, it's been there since they're born.
Right.
They don't know where
That's
it's
their
coming
job.
from.
That's their job.
Right.
They'll figure it out when they have kids.
Yeah. Right. They don't even know it's a job.
Right.
They just know it's there.
Right.
Right. And when they go to the store, they want to buy sneakers, pants, shirts, hats, socks. It's available.
Right.
Right. So they don't understand what it took for you to get it there, or the wife or your wife or whoever is bringing in the bacon. Right. Nowadays, you got to have two incomes unless you're very fortunate to do some things to make a lot of good money.
Right.
But a lot of times, you know, we were kids, we were latchkey kids, they call us. Because our parents, my mom was out working, and my dad was out working, and my grandparents was working, everybody working.
Taught you how to work.
Right, they ain't got
Nothing wrong with
time to
that,
be
yeah.
coming back home and making sure you got a sandwich. The food's in the refrigerator, boy. Make yourself a sandwich.
Right.
You know what I'm saying to you?
Right.
So that part of life made me stronger as an individual. And it's also traumatic, but that trauma has to have a purpose. My trauma is purposely placed because of the things my parents had to do. Yes,
Well
I
said.
wanted them to be around, but I also wanted to sleep in my bed at night. So I'd rather take the bed sleeping, right? And it's harder for us to understand that nowadays. You know, I get it. We have total access to everything, so we should have total access to our parents as well.
Right.
Right. So, but sometimes our parents are out working hard, giving their love a different kind of way. They're giving their love through braving the storm, going out here dealing with people they don't want to deal with, making sure that you are in the incubable of the love at the home in the nest. And that's something that I was very fortunate growing up with that. You know, I ain't never get a lot of hugs and kisses, but I sure got a lot of food, clothes,
Right.
a place to sleep.
Right.
It was safe at the house. Grandparents would come and go. You know, my grandmother was a little bit more nurturing. You know, our women are the best. My grandmother was more nurturing, and my mother was not really nurturing, but my mother was all right.
Yeah.
And but I was very fortunate to have around some aunties that were girly, and they taught me how to talk to women and what to do and how to smell right and all the good things you're supposed
Smell
to
right.
right, smell right, right. Key smell right. Take a bath, food.
Yeah,
Women
put
like
that
when you
deodorant
smell
on,
good. Put the
son.
deodorant on, boy. Right? My pop won't worry about no deodorant or put no
Right.
boy.
Yeah.
Boy, go out there and cut the grass.
Mow the lawn.
Mow the
Yeah,
lawn.
that's right.
Go out there and do that. Do that. Do what your grandma tell you, boy. In passing, going to brave the storm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, too? In passing.
Right.
My grandma, Junior, the boy don't want him, blah, 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 blah. Right? Here come my grandpa. Do.
Yeah.
Boy, why are you making my life terrible? Do what your grandma say. Do. I got to get dressed. I got to go to work. I ain't got time to deal with this.
Right.
That's just the way it is. I mean, I think that, you know, it's that's the key to your point. We on a tangent now, but that's the key to that's the key to a great upbringing at that time, right? Nowadays,
No, man, listen, you bring a lot of memories back to me because we have a very similar.
I'm trying to tell you, bro.
I mean, realistically, because,
Absolutely.
you know, my mom and dad, like, we didn't have much, but they worked their asses off. It wasn't
Absolutely.
because they were deadbeats.
Right.
They were the opposite. They were constantly working and grinding. So, you know, but they always worked. They taught me how to work. I remember waking up at 4 a.m, going out picking corn before school,
Right.
you know, just to try to earn a little bit of money. And then after school it was strawberries or apples. Probably why I don't eat fruit today, you know, and stuff, because I did all that picking. But they gave me some of the best lessons because they taught me how to work. They taught me how to grind. They taught me love, right? Unconditional love.
Right, of course.
That a lot of these kids don't get today.
Right, of course.
But the one thing is, when you have kids, you want your kids to have everything you had and more.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes when you can't provide that, you feel like a failure.
Right.
And it sucks.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I did have a mom and dad that was there for me the whole time.
Right.
And not every kid gets that today.
Absolutely.
And that's the unfortunate part for those people that are out there that don't have those
real
opportunities.
Talk, bro. That's real talk.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. And the thing about it, man, like, to your point, like, I you know, my kids, man, like, I give them everything they ever wanted, and I try my best to make sure that they got a lot of love, a lot of a lot of talk, good motivation. Like my grandfather taught me motivation, a lot of tough love too.
Yep.
And it didn't bode well sometimes with them because, you know, kids want everything.
Yeah.
You know, they want it all.
Sure. They see it online. They see it right there on the phone. They scroll. But they watch everybody's lives, and they want that shit too.
Right.
They think it just appears. There it is.
There you go. You know, and they want it all. I mean, they want everything. They don't understand that in life, parents go through it too.
Yep.
Right. And we don't always have the answer, the right answer, but
We have a answer.
we have the answer.
Right. It's what I'm saying.
Right answer for them. You know what I mean? So we all have the right answer for them, but we try our best to make sure that our kids are mentally stable. I did personally. I wanted to make sure my kids were at least mentally stable.
Yeah.
Where if they ever wanted to do something, I would back them. You know, even if it was something I knew they weren't going to do, I would be like, okay, well, cool, let's try it. You just never know.
Right.
You never know. I do the same thing with my daughter with art. She's an amazing artist now, and she stuck to it. I got a story, but I won't tell it. But she's out of everything she's ever tried, this is the one thing I know that she's. You know, I used to be an artist when I was a kid too, so I know where she gets it from, right?
Sure.
So she went to school, she did everything necessary to learn, and she's doing well with it now. She's actually finishing the task.
That's great.
And I'm proud of her for that.
Yeah.
She, you know, me and my daughter don't get along all the time, but most times ever. But
Because you're a father.
yeah, absolutely.
That's a big
But
difference.
I love her dearly. But I think that I'm glad that she's figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad, like I'm on cloud 20.
That's great.
That she's figuring it out, right? And you know, even my son, you know, we don't have the greatest relationship most times ever, but I try to make sure my kids are so used to me giving them everything, loving on them too hard. They don't like it. I ain't never been a bunch of kids that don't like when you love on them too hard.
Right.
In my life. When my kids be like, man, you love me too much. You're too emotional, Dad. I was like, come on, bro. Stop it. Jesus, if I was a deadbeat dad, you wouldn't want me around. You know, it's weird, but it's, you know, they always want what they don't have.
Sure.
Now, if I was never around, you don't ever come around and say hey to us. You know, but, you know.
Let's go there real quick. You know, is it tough because, you know, being out there, you know, fans recognize you.
Right.
You know, you're out there, you're with your family, and you know, fans are. Does it interfere with your everyday life? And did you feel like it interfered with some of your relationship with your family? Because it takes away from them. They're like, hey, he's always
negative.
You know, so
no.
That's good.
I always took my kids with me.
Right.
Whenever I would do like tours, like when I did the Rock the Mic tour, I did whatever tour, my kids were always with me on the tour buses and all that.
Yeah.
So
nice.
They would always go. So I never would leave my kids behind.
Right.
So anytime I would go somewhere, it was definitely they were with me, especially in the younger years. Right. As they got older, it got a little bit more difficult because of, you know, me and their mom got a divorce or whatever. But as we, in their younger years, you know, from 0 to like 10, 11, they were with me all the time.
You know what I think would be cool though, because I've done. You go if you're in a restaurant. Let's just say you're in a restaurant with your kids.
Right.
Somebody comes up to you, they want to get a picture with you.
Yeah,
you're like, sure, but you got to take a picture of my family too. Like, get us all in the picture.
Right.
We all here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder how that would go.
Right. Well, I never want my kids no picture of me with no fan. You know what I'm saying? It just, you know, it's just kind of a safety thing. You know,
that's true too. Yeah.
I don't want my kids.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So many ways to look at things.
Yeah. But no, but at the end of the day, it's like I just wanted to make sure that my kids were. I wanted what I never really got when it came to that. Once again, with latchkey kids. So I wanted to make sure, to your point, I wanted to make sure my kids had everything I didn't have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the most thing that I didn't have was like overabundance of like affection and love and hugs and all that stuff. So I will always kind of give them hugs and love and all that. Man, my kids hate that shit.
Gotcha.
They fucking hate it. Like, oh, man, get off of me, man. You're such a sucker. Get off of me, Dad.
Right.
Oh, God, you're so... And then all their friends thought I was the coolest person in the world. You know what I mean? Your dad is fucking Bonecrusher. What the hell are you talking about?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah,
God.
cool.
This guy, Jesus Christ. Get him out of here. I fucking hate him. Get him out. I hate this guy. Until it's time to get some money. Then it's oh, Dad. Dad. You got the $60 I asked you for?
How cool is it though? I'm bringing you back in time now.
Go ahead.
When you hear one of your big songs, you're walking through Walmart and all of a sudden you hear it, or you're at the Braves game, and all of a sudden here just you know what is that feeling like? Do you get chills? Does it pop up? I mean, what is it like? And what is it like today? Is it anything different, or today is like common, used to it? Or do you still get charged a little bit?
Well, I don't get to, I never did, even in the beginning, though. You know how I was always famous ever since I was a kid.
Just nobody knew it, right?
I mean, everybody knew it. I've been popular
I
all my life.
Too. Just ask me. I was always famous. Just everybody else didn't know that.
Right. But I've been popular all my life.
Right.
Like, even when I was a kid, I was been popular. Like, when I was a kid, when I was a child, I was a fighting dude. So I was known in my neighborhood as Big Wayne. So I've always been, and then my grandparents would instill the power of self-love and energy of passion and all that in me. So I never really understood why people would act that way when they got famous. Because I've been famous. Like from elementary school, high school, then college, then... You know, even in college,
people know who you were.
Nobody knew who I was in college, but I made myself known by just being myself. So they have a football game at Benedict, where they play in front of the resource center, which is the library.
Okay.
And they had a bunch of upperclassmen versus the underclassmen, right? And there was this guy named Big George, I think his name was. He was an upperclassman. Like he don't know. In high school, I was a monster football player in high school, all county, all that shit, right?
What position? Quarterback?
Yeah, quarterback. Yeah. So wide receiver.
Hey.
Right. So the guy gets the ball. Now the whole school is out there, right? The whole school. So me being me, they don't know me from nobody, right? The guy gets the ball. He's running down the field, knocking people over. They scared of him because he's a big dude, right? But I'm a big dude too, but I wasn't big as him. Like, he's a big dude. He's like 6'4", like 380 pounds, 390.
Damn.
Big guy.
Yeah, that's big.
Right, big guy. So he's running down the field. Not knowing I know how to hit. I've learned the technique of hitting. I've learned all that from playing football.
Right.
So he runs at me. Everybody's running away from him. I said, man, bump this dude, bro. You don't know who I am, dog. So all that big Wayne football fighting for where I'm from, it all comes out of me. I can't help it, right? All that self-esteem and love and all this, ain't nobody better than you. You the best, right? You work hard for it. It ain't just some psychological thing.
Right.
I worked hard to become this person that I've instilled in myself. He's running at me, running. I go straight at him, right? Arched my back and lunged at him. When I hit him, he falls back. Bow! Hits the ground. I said, man, yeah! What's up now, Jack? The whole school is like, oh, whoa! Who the hell is that dude? From then on, now I'm famous for hitting this guy.
Right.
And what happens is all you gotta do is do it once or twice. Then they start making up stories about you. Man, remember big boy, big wings. Remember when he slammed old boy back out off the top rope and hit him on the ground? Like, bro, it wasn't even that serious. I just hit the guy. Now the stories begin, the fables. Now I have a lot of fable stories about me that started from something real, right? Whether it's Adamsville, College Park, music business, or whatever, I've always been kind of famous.
There you go. Where'd Bonecrusher come from?
I was named by a bunch of people in my neighborhood that called me Bonecrusher.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was that the fighting part of you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Leave it at that one?
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about that one. You throwing that one out?
Yeah. No, I've always been the nice guy, though. I've always been this nice dude. I just always end up in a situation where I'm helping somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I don't know why I'm like that.
Because God put you as one of his angels to do that.
I guess.
That's it.
I guess so.
That's it.
I hate bullies, though. Like, I always hated bullies.
Right. They're not
used-
nice people.
They're not.
They're not good people.
I used to beat up bullies all the time.
Right.
But they suckers. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, if you're bullying somebody that's smaller than you,
Right.
it's kind of like, man, what kind of browning points you getting out bullying the little nerd guy?
That's right.
Man, leave that dude alone, man. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I stopped. I used to hang out with the nerds. I mean, I won't call them nerds, but I used to hang out with people
That were different.
that were just not different. They just were good people.
Right.
Like, they were just small people, like away from the so-called popular people.
Sure.
And I would hang out with them mostly. Because, I'm into comic books and, that type of stuff, art and all that. Yeah. They didn't know that. All they know is this guy used to fight. Football, fight, and all this stuff. I'm hanging out with the young dudes from lower classmen. Like, yo, man, let's go look at some X-Men and some let's go look at some Marvel stuff, DC, man, and I'm looking at that stuff. And they looking at me like, man, wow, Big Wang is hanging out with us. Nobody's ever going to mess with us. Ever, right? So, in my neighborhood, man, the little guys would come to my house, knock on the door. Hey, man, Big Wayne, man, the guys in the neighborhood told me they're going to beat us up. I said, oh, man, they ain't going to beat y'all up. Y'all good. Man, all right, man, you coming? I said, yeah, I'll be there in a minute. So I get up, walk through the neighborhood. Yeah. They see me. The other guys would see me and be like, man, y'all know Big Wayne? They was like, yeah, that's my guy. That's our boy. It's like, oh, hell, I ain't fucking with him. He's crazy. Because my stories would precede me.
Sure.
So I would just kind of like,
You have to now. You got to do it once.
Just do it once or twice.
Yeah.
You hurt somebody once or twice for real.
I tell people all the time, man, if you're going to take somebody out, take the biggest guy out.
Take them out.
Because here's one or two things are going to happen. He's either going to whoop your ass.
Yeah.
And that's okay because he's supposed to.
Right.
Or if you whoop his ass, you become king.
You the man.
You become king.
You the king anyway because you stood up to him.
Right, that dude.
It's like you stood up to the dude. Everybody else is running. You stood up to him.
That's right. Yeah. That's so good. Well, listen, Bo, man, I really appreciate you coming out here. It's been a pleasure as always. You know, before we go, I would like to say, could you leave anybody out there, these younger generations today, leave them with something that you can inspire them to give them some hope to overcome.
Oh yeah. Perseverance is key. Never give up. In life, you find yourself in turmoil situations, and you find yourself around negative energy that doesn't suit your positive outlook on whatever you're trying to accomplish. I think that for me, I've always tried my best, and you should too, surround yourself with people that care about you and your dreams.
Amen.
Stay away from negative people. Negative people are the cancer of the earth. They are losers. They are a waste of time and energy, and they do a lot of talking and not a lot of walking. So stay yourself in the walking position, because everybody fails. Without failure, you can't be good at what you're trying to achieve, right? Michael Jordan said it best: I failed so many times in order to become the champion I am today. And that's what life is about, failure. That failure makes you better. So the more you fail, the better you get, because if you really want to do it, you're going to get up and not fail the same way again. My grandpa once again told me, he said, hey, listen to me, grandson. You listening? I said, I'm listening. He says, you fail one time at something, it's a mistake. You fail at it again, you meant to do that shit. So don't let me ever catch you failing at the same thing twice. You better fail at something different. If I see you failing at anything the same time, me and you and my gun gonna have a problem. I said, oh man, why you always gotta be violent, bro? Just be yourself, man. What? No, man. Of course, grandfather. You right, Pop. You right, Pop. And he was right. If I fail at something more than once, the same thing, then I meant to do it. That means that I had took a conscious effort to be a fuck up twice. That means that that's my destiny. And I'm not destined for fuck up. I'm destined for greatness. So every time you see me fail at something, that's the first time I ever did that. I ain't never did that again. Oh, Bo, man, you failed at something? Man, I don't know the hell I was thinking. You'll never see me do it again, sir. Better believe it. So that's my word of wisdom. If there are words of wisdom, if any, make sure you never fail at the same thing twice. Stay on your goal, stay on your path, and never give up.
Well, there you have it, folks. You heard it from Bonecrusher himself, baby. Stay away from negativity, man. And as your boy Wham Bam always says, if your life was a movie, would it be worth watching? And if the answer is no, then stop being ordinary and start being extraordinary. Till next Wednesday, baby, stay positive and keep testing negative. I'm your boy Wham Bam, and I'm out.
Yeah. I'm your boy Bonecrusher, and I'm out.